Ryan setting up the camera for a little video. I know where this is going, but I want you guys, Meg and James, to share with everybody what was the inspiration behind Brewtal.
Just wanted to, celebrate a lot of the local bands that, they're part of that counterculture, that underground scene that, I love so much, and just thought it'd be really cool. Like, you see all these signed bands getting their own beers and just giving, local bands that opportunity to do something special and to reach an audience. Because, like, sometimes people don't know about these bands, and but they might know beer. And like, oh, this is with a local band? Who's this? Check them out. And, there's fans for a brewery. There's fans for a band. And just thought it was a really cool idea to celebrate two things I care very passionately about.
I think that people that are really into heavy metal are super passionate about it, and people that are really into beer are super passionate too. And there's definitely a crossroads that a lot of people, I don't even think, realize exists. So it's not only a cool way to get bands to get their own beer and expose them, but it's also an awesome way to get breweries new eyes on breweries and things like that. I've met so many people through Brewtal, and it's awesome. I think a lot of people have.
Yeah, I think that was one of the coolest things that came out of it, is besides, like, especially Greywater, I feel like your band anyway had a huge part in our first year. And even afterwards, like, we're obviously, you're on our team, Evan works with me now anyway. But just kind of looking at it from like where James and I were coming from, all the time when especially when we worked together, we were always bringing up music, bringing up bands, having songs influence, beer names, and even just inspire ideas. And I think just as much as you were saying, you guys were in the hotel talking about what kind of beer you'd want, like, for us, we're like, oh, how can we use that band to, like, that's a really cool name for beer. Yeah. And I think just music in general has that influence on it. And, so we saw those parallels as well. And it's kind of cool seeing the other side where it's like, well, they felt the same way. It was a matter of time before we were all going to get together.
100%.
And every time I go to brew a beer, whether it was at Rock Bottom or it's at Spoonwood now, every beer that I brew, the name is somewhat associated with some band that I listen to, or some member of a band. I just love it so much. Just two communities that are so passionate about one goal, and
not to mention too, like, on a whole, I feel like the beer community is somewhat on, like, as like a very surface level, it seems very one-sided, like, it's for the outdoorsy bearded dude. And I think sometimes it's not as often realized that there's still bearded dudes who like non-outdoorsy things and who might just like to headbang and sit in their house playing video games. And sorry, I see you're about to say something. I'll just finish the statement real fast, in that it's kind of like, we always go to beer festivals, and we thought that bringing the other side of it, getting rid of the bands that you would probably typically see at a beer fest and bringing in ones that we all want to see there, was really key in making Brewtal differentiated.
And I'm a huge fan of any community, and these are the only two communities that have done it, that have allowed me to take most of my clothes off and still accept me. They accept me. They want it. They crave it. And
Accept might be a little bit too strong of a word.
No, it is now a thing.
No, it is now a thing.
Want it.
This year,
this is hilarious.
When I showed up to the Brewers Olympics wearing clothes and said I had no outfit on, they were upset.
As your teammate on those same very Brewers Olympics, I was a little upset myself. I'm glad that as the day progressed, you're able to come more on
It was
board.
adorable, though, that he would just, like, run up to me like a little kid and just be like, is it okay if I take off my pants?
So, yeah.
Yes, sweetheart, it is. It is fine.
I don't know.
It's so nice that you asked.
I'm sure other,
these other guys, they weren't asking. They were just taking off their pants.
You're
all over
I'm
the
sure
place.
other,
You're the envy of wives everywhere, because no other husband asks if they can take off
This
their
is
pants
why you use the word miss.
Ooh,
See?
burn.
No, that's a good thing.
Sick burn.
So you guys, I'm going to just go get myself
Peace out.
another brewski, and I'll be right back.